Well, hello there. In today's live stream, we're discussing what we've been watching and also the Minecraft movie. So, what have you been watching lately, Lou?
So, in terms of movies, Minecraft I saw the other day, so I'll elaborate that a bit later. In terms of TV, I've been revisiting a few shows that I partially started and then, haven't finished. So the one that stands out was Plum. So this is an Australian show on ABC iView that is about an ex-rugby league football player who was, starting to have seizures and memory loss problems and developing CTE, which is obviously pretty big in the world of sport at the moment, in NFL and rugby league talking about it. So,
what position did he play?
I think they made out that he was a lock forward.
Oh,
so he's meant to be, he was the captain of Australia and he was like Cronulla, Hall of Fame player. So this show's set in Cronulla. The show has a good premise. The first two episodes, which I saw a while back, I liked, and now it's just getting a bit weird, like a lot of imagination and having dialogue with people that aren't there, and I don't know, it's losing interest for me, so I don't really know if I want to finish it. And it does have some Australian, acting royalty in it, but really it's not, I'm not excited to continue watching. But yeah, I haven't watched a whole lot recently.
What do you think the show should have done to make it more appealing to you, or do you think they made the right decision and you're just not enjoying it?
I think what it wanted to do was try and really show what it's like to have CTE, but the person that wrote it and the actor doesn't have CTE himself, and he's not even an ex-football player himself. So I think a lot of football players would watch the show and go, this has missed the mark, that's not what it's like.
Yeah.
So I don't really know who it's for and what audience it's for. It only has the one season. I don't believe it's got a second, or whether it was ever meant to have two seasons. But I think it's probably missed the point. I think people would have rather seen more of the football player cameo, more of the... Because the concept is, like he was an ex-football player, he was the star, but now he's basically got no money to his name because he's spent it on drinking and, partying and gambling. So I think that's a cool concept, because that is a real thing that happens with football players, especially older players that they weren't as wealthy as they are now. They didn't have people helping them invest their money, start businesses, and continue to grow their wealth. So I think that's a better story than the CTE itself. His son is also an emerging football player, but they have this weird dynamic where the father for no reason will just be really just shitty to him. And I guess they're trying to blame it on the CTE, but it doesn't really make sense. I just think I've got a lot of issues with the show and I'm not enjoying it.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. What have you been watching?
I've been watching The Studio. What's the Apple Plus original starring Seth Rogen. And if you are like a filmmaking nerd and things like that, you would love the show. But to me, it kind of feels like Seth Rogen is playing his normal self. He's very nice. He's very trying to pleasing everyone. But to me, he's kind of typecast. I kind of wish he brought more of a tough guy sort of role, because he's the leader of the studio. So to me, he's kind of a wimp. But basically, the show each episode is kind of a different thing that happens with the studio, so that's kind of cool. For me, I'm enjoying it, enjoying some bits, but not enjoying other bits, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's disappointing to hear, because it's a show I really want to watch, but you did say that if you're a film nerd, you'll probably like it, which I wouldn't say I'm a film nerd, but I'm kind of obsessed with the idea of Hollywood and studios and how movies are made. So I think it would appeal to me. I think I am that type of nerd. So I'm looking forward to watching it for that reason.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll continue to watch it?
Most likely, maybe, but there's other things to watch as well.
Okay. Anything else you've been watching? Seen any movies?
Movies, not as much, but I have been watching Watson, that is on Paramount Plus, that in this show, Sherlock Holmes has actually passed away, and it's more focusing on Watson, and it's instead of being a detective show, it's a medical drama. So it's okay compared to House. It's nothing like House, but it's still okay. I think to me, the reason why I'm enjoying it more is because it's kind of in the world of Sherlock. If it was a typical medical drama, I wouldn't. It's not that good.
Okay, that really doesn't sound appealing to me, to be honest. I must say I've never been a fan of the Sherlock Holmes world. I don't understand why there are so many Sherlock Holmes spin-offs and versions that are made. So what's the story of this show? Is it a recent show?
Yeah, it came out this year. It's been renewed for a season 2, and the concept is that Sherlock, Watson, and Moriarty all drowned to death. Well, you think Sherlock and Moriarty have drowned. Watson suffers like something to do with his brain, and then you find out that Moriarty actually survives and is the main villain, but Sherlock dies. So yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be watching that. Anything else, or should we start chatting about some few other topics?
I've also been watching 1923. That is the second prequel to Yellowstone, and it is a really fantastic show. If you're a diehard Yellowstone fan, I would definitely recommend watching it, and hopefully it finishes well. I did do my research, and it does say that I don't think they're doing a season 3, so they might just do the prequel show, so we shall see. And I've also been watching some anime as well, so Solo Leveling, Kaiju 8, Windbreakers, been watching a lot of things.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you do like your anime.
Yeah.
Can't say I don't dislike it, I just don't watch it as much as you do.
Yes.
So the main thing, as you see from the title of the show, was we were going to talk about Minecraft.
Yeah.
So the Minecraft movie. So this is interesting. Jacob hasn't seen it. I have. Neither of us have you played any of the game?
I dislike Minecraft.
I haven't played any of the game. I'm friends with people that do play it a lot. So we've got kind of an outsider opinion of someone that isn't biased in the sense that they already liked the movie. So from what we could, okay, I guess I'll have to summarize the concept of this movie. So the concept of this movie, without giving away spoilers, is Jack Black's character Steve finds a way to enter the Minecraft world. He, really enjoys the freedom of being able to make things. He just loves the place. Basically, he encounters a villain. The villain wants something he has. In order to protect it, he becomes their kind of like prisoner. He gets his dog to hide the cube that gets hidden on our world, and then people stumble across it and they get dragged into it. So that's where the issue kind of lies for me. That brings apart this ensemble cast kind of for no reason. So we then get introduced to a young boy who has, the ability to build stuff. He's a genius. He's really good with science. His sister, who's just like the worrywart that's, there to look after his brother. I believe both their parents are dead, or it's just them because she's quite young. The real estate agent that helps them find a place to live gets sucked into this movie and into the Minecraft world. And then we've got Jason Momoa, who's meant to be the comedic relief. He's the broody, big, muscly dude that was once in the 80s like the world's best video gamer, and now he's just kind of never achieved anything, and he still drives the old car, and he has like a retro game store.
You were saying you thought John Cena should have been cast instead of Jason Momoa?
I think John Cena would have done better. If not, the kids would have appreciated more. I don't know if kids have that fandom towards Jason Momoa, where John Cena has the wrestling thing and the you can't see me. I think that watching the movie, kids were going berserk, throwing popcorn, reacting to things. I think John Cena probably was their demographic. I think they would have been fans of John Cena. I don't know if it would have improved the movie. I don't know if Jason Momoa was their first choice. Again, I'm not saying he did a bad job. I reckon the producers, they would have, who do we want for this character? I reckon John Cena was top of the list, and they couldn't get him because I think he would have, brought more fandom to it. So that's the main plot or concept of the movie. But ultimately, it's killing at the box office. Well, we looked up, it's made nearly $350 million worldwide. It might surpass Super Mario. It's technically been the most successful game turned to movie in its opening week. It's just breaking all these numbers, and it's a TikTok internet phenomenon with people going there waiting to hear him say, "I'm Steve," and cheering and throwing their popcorn. And when they see the chicken jockey, like, I couldn't believe it. This movie was absolutely packed in the middle of the day with kids. Like, this was a big VMAX cinema, like 500 people, I think they fit in this cinema.
Wow.
It was every seat taken, every session, every day, and kids just going berserk. So the movie's making money, but the question is, do we think it's a good movie? It's hard for you to answer because you haven't seen it, but what is your thoughts on that? Do you think it's a good movie, or is it a movie that should have been made? Like, what do you have to say about it?
My thoughts is from the trailer, to me it looked like a rip-off from Jumanji, and I personally don't understand why they couldn't make it a animation movie like Super Mario. I think that would have made it a lot better and actually make it like Minecraft. So from my perspective, when I saw how the movie was from the trailer, I was like, I'm not going to see it. It's not worth seeing it. It looks silly. It looks... What does it bring? If I was a Minecraft fan, I would be like, they're just wrecking my fandom. And so, by the sounds of it, I think I made the right choice.
Yeah, I haven't spoken to any adult Minecraft fans to know what they think, but the kids are going nuts for it. But I think their expectations of movies are different. Like, for me, I watched the movie and I thought the plot is really simple and a bit silly, and also I thought that it wasn't exciting, it wasn't funny enough, and I didn't get the references. So it wasn't made for me. There's no doubt about that. So I appreciate that it wasn't made for me. But I think kids, they probably got the references because they play the games, and the humor was at their level, and the complexity of the plot suited them. But I don't know about adult Minecraft fans. Do they think that the plot was not enough? Was it subpar? Did they care about the references? And did they have enough? Were they old enough to decide like this was bad acting or this was good acting? Like, I'd like to know, because the kids were going nuts when they were seeing references to the games, but I didn't get that because I didn't play the game. So it was like, okay, this is a character, but the things that were going nuts for weren't even that major or that exciting. It was just like, oh, cool, they popped up on the screen. So do adults care, or is it only kids that think that's interesting?
Yeah.
So I'd like to speak to and hear what an adult fan of Minecraft that's seen the movie, what they thought. But I appreciate the movie's not made for me. It's making money, which I expected it to. I'm just a bit disappointed that it wasn't fun. Like, I think even if you don't like Super Mario, that movie was fun.
Yeah, it was.
This one wasn't. So I think you needed to be a fan to like it. Super Mario, anyone could probably give it a crack and find something to like. I also think the concept of having the humans go to the Minecraft world maybe a bit strange. This whole like Jumanji getting sucked into the game thing's done. I think I probably would have rather seen a movie set inside the Minecraft universe where every character was part of the Minecraft world, and they were, and that was it. Like, there was a problem inside the Minecraft world, they had to solve it. I didn't think we needed to bring in people from the human world. I guess Jack Black could have voiced one of the characters, or they could have made the Steve character look like him. Like, I must admit, seeing a world in blocks looked cool.
Yeah.
So I think that live action style looked cooler than if it was animated. But I think it was a bit strange that we needed to then add humans that didn't look like everyone else. So it's a movie that will make money. I don't think people will watch it twice, and it will probably get a sequel just because of the money it's made. That's essentially it. Does it deserve one? Don't really think so. But I would like to hear the opinion of an adult who plays the game and has seen the movie, whether it did it justice. But I can't comment on that.
What do you... Between the movies that Jack Black has done, where do you think it ranks from his movies he's done for games?
Oh, so we talked about before. So we'll consider Jumanji on that list, and then we've got Super Mario. He was also Borderlands, and then this. Super Mario would be the best. His performance in this was probably number 2. Borderlands was a bad movie, and Jack Black's character was not as funny. It could have been way funnier. And I don't know. I've only seen, I think, the one Jumanji, and I don't really remember if I liked it or not.
Mm.
But I think it was a better movie than something else, and maybe that's at number 2.
Mm.
What's your favorite Jack Black movie out of that list of the ones you've seen?
Super Mario.
Yeah, Super Mario, I think, is the best by far. It's crazy to think the amount of animated or like game-related movies he's been in recently. It seems to be he's the go-to person. I wonder if kids like Jack Black. Like, why is it Jack Black that's getting that? Because he was famous when we were kids. Like, School of Rock was a really big movie then. He was in so many things. So why the sudden resurgence for Jack Black?
Yeah.
I don't know. Very interesting. So, yeah, I'd like to hear other people's opinions. Any other thoughts on this Minecraft? Whether you think it's a movie that people should see or wouldn't waste their time seeing?
Well, I haven't seen the movie, but I'm going to say it's not worth people's time, but we all have different opinions.
Yeah, I think kids will go out and see it. I think parents should give their kids the experience and send them to see it if they're into Minecraft. But if you were neutral and on the fence and have no affiliation with Minecraft, don't be fooled by the numbers and think it's a good movie, because it's not for you. It's really not. I don't think, without being a fan prior, there's going to be anything in there for you to take on.
How do you think they should have told the story? Because we were speaking about basically someone thought of an idea and then they basically made sense, but they just jumbled it together.
I felt that the movie, they had a concept. They're like, okay, we need to bring in a human into the Minecraft world, because, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the Minecraft world there's no correlation. It's not like the main character in the game came from the human world, or it's just like it is its own world.
Mm.
So they wanted that to happen. So then they had to then come up with a whole storyline to make that make sense, and then throughout plot conveniences and lots of, even wilder concepts to make the original concept make sense. So I think it could have been simpler in the fact that human world and Minecraft world don't cross over.
Yeah.
This isn't someone playing the game that gets sucked into the game. Nothing like that. This is just this tale about a foreign planet, a foreign world, an alternate universe, whatever you want to call it, and the hero Steve needs to save the day. And the character could just kind of look like Jack Black and be voiced by Jack Black, but still be in his cube form. I think that would have been a better concept. But talking to one person who I know that plays the game that hasn't seen the movie, they said the campaign and the story inside they said particularly Minecraft Dungeons would be a good movie. So they're like, there was content there. They could have stuck true to the content, the source material, and not needed to come up with something new.
Yeah. I guess it shows that writers think their ideas are actually better than what was written previously.
Yeah, and maybe this made more sense for kids. Maybe I thought kids can relate to this. Maybe they want to see heroes get dragged into the game, or like people like them and go, oh, that could be me one day. Like, I don't know the direction they went, but I don't think it was the right one for me to like, but it's making money. So isn't that, I guess at the end of the day, that's what movies are about, making money.
Yeah.
Another concept I want to talk about, moving on from Minecraft, was on the way here, I was listening to a podcast talking about Netflix. So Netflix is now 10 years old. We talk a lot about the streaming world, and particularly HBO Max now coming to Australia for the first time. So it was saying that Netflix is, Australia, they reckon, is the market it's penetrated the most, which means more percentage of streamers use Netflix over any other streaming service in comparison to other parts of the world. So in America, let's say 50% of all people that have a streaming service have Netflix. In Australia, it's 60%, which is higher than any other country. So they're saying people just really get on board with Netflix here, which you and I find that hard. We believe it, but we think it's weird because I only recently just re-signed up to Netflix because it cost me $2 a month. But once that ends, that deal, I'm not going to continue with it. But we don't see the value in Netflix.
Yeah.
So this person was saying that they think that Netflix does so well because it has unique content, original content, it has big stars, and it's always bringing out something bigger and better. But we think something different. So why do you think Netflix is the most popular in Australia?
I think that's it's because it's the most people know it the most. So when something you're going to gravitate towards it. Like it might have the most content, but I don't know if it has the most freshest, innovative content.
Yeah, like I think if, let's say, every streaming service on the market was worth one token, and everyone got one token a month, and you could only use that token. Let's say like you couldn't change. Like you get one token, and you can only use. So they're all worth the same value. I can't see why anyone wouldn't pick Net. Like if you pick one, you can't have the others. I think most people are going to pick Netflix.
Yeah.
And I would probably do the same. And I don't think it's a better streaming service. I just think it's kind of burned in our brain that
Yes.
Netflix is the big dog. And I think it has the most content.
Yeah.
Regardless of its original content, it just has a lot to choose from. Again, I don't think it's the best. I definitely don't think it brings out the best new content. But I think that it's number one because of the quantity of content, not the quality.
Yeah.
But this person they didn't bring up that point. They were saying that they thought it was because they had the best content, which I strongly disagree that I think it has the best content. It has the most content.
Mm.
So would you do the same if you could only pick one? Would that be the one you'd go? And you can't have the others. So once you pick one, there's no going back.
Netflix would keep me the most busiest, and it does have decent shows. So I would choose it because I would be entertained.
Yeah, so I think that's why it reigns supreme. I don't think it's the best. It'll be interesting to see what HBO Max bring, whether there's some kind of free trial we could sign up to have a look, and we can maybe give you guys our opinion on it. I believe it's very popular in America, but in Australia it's kind of shaking things up because HBO content previously was on Fox or Binge.
Yeah.
So now that that's all moved across from their service to its own one, will people jump ship? Are people willing to pay another subscription fee just to watch The Penguin again, or just to watch
Last of Us,
Game of Thrones, Last of Us, whatever other shows they have? Or are people going to go, no, screw it. I feel like I've been done dirty here.
Yeah.
I used to get this part of my Binge and Foxtel subscription, but I don't anymore.
Yeah.
And they won't do it. I'd be intrigued to see where it goes. What do you think this means for Binge? Do you think Binge have any chance moving forward?
The diehard, I guess, people that love the Australian shows on Binge, but I think they have lost their main hitters now.
I reckon a lot of people that had Binge for the Australian shows were probably people that had Foxtel as well, so they'll probably just cancel it.
Yeah.
So, like, I've seen that Binge now are already kind of reacting to this. They offered me 6 months free, and I took it because, like, why wouldn't I? I haven't watched anything on it, but I took it. They're offering people, like, heavily discounted, like, I think it's $5 a month for 12 months if they want to lock it in. They are desperately trying to get people to stay because they've lost their best content, and they're not going to be able to make new content in a hurry.
No.
Like if they say, "Hey, we're not going to have anything new on here for a year, keep paying." Like who's going to do that?
No.
You know, I know this is sad to say, I don't think Australian content is that good.
Yeah.
We get some amazing shows that are up there with the best in the world, but I think there's more misses than hits.
Yeah.
So I think if that's what Binge is going to be relying on, I think it's going to be a tough battle for them moving forward.
Put it this way, if you had to choose between Black Snow and the 12, I think you're going to choose Black Snow.
I would choose that, and that's on Stan. So I guess I do support an Australian service in Stan. I don't currently have a Stan, but I have in the past. But I would, if it was between Binge and Stan, now that Binge no longer has the HBO things, I'd be going Stan every day of the week.
Yeah.
So it's we might be starting to see this streaming war ramp up with streaming services, the smaller ones starting to die off, and then your Netflix is reigning supreme even more so because if they're the ones that people are going as their first choice, all the second choices will die off. If Netflix is costing you $20 a month, you're probably, if you're going to have to get rid of something, I don't think a lot of people Netflix is going to be the one that's going to get rid of. So the people that have Netflix and Binge goes. The people that have Netflix and Stan starts to go, and so forth. And I think we're going to start to see streaming services drop off. So we had all this variety. Now we have too much variety and it's too much money. They drop off and then the cream rises to the top again, and Netflix continues to make crazy money and they do what they want, which I don't mind. If that means they will start to lower their price because they lose competitors, I'm cool with that too. So
yeah. You were saying Netflix do some of their top 10?
Oh yeah, they were saying that. So on Netflix they have their top 10. There's a bit of question around their algorithm, whether it's actually true, whether they're genuinely telling you what's the top 10 things in your area, or whether they're trying to push you towards content, maybe not that you would necessarily like, but is their content or something that will make you want to continue to stay there, because they're in the business of keeping you subscribed as long as possible. Just like a gym. A gym wants you to join. Whether you go, they don't care. They just don't want you to end your membership ever. They want you there for life.
Yeah.
So that's what Netflix wants. So the algorithm is trying to push you to go, oh, adolescence is popular at the moment. I better not get rid of my membership.
Yeah.
Oh, this is popular. I don't want to lose that because and they show you the Netflix originals. Like if you went onto Netflix and the top 10 was Friends or Breaking Bad or something, you'd go, well, that's on every other streaming service. Like, why would I keep Netflix? So they want you to see Netflix exclusive. So you go, I better not get rid of this because otherwise I'm going to be missing out when everyone at work's talking about adolescent. So it's that, and also they consider if something is watched for 2 minutes, it is considered a view. So the movie that's the most popular at the moment, has the most views, could be because they turned it on, watched it for 2 minutes, and then the first scene's crap and they turn it off. It still counts as a view. So you could get the most, like if they wanted to make something the most popular show, they should just make the funniest scene of the movie in the first 2 minutes. So everyone goes, hey, turn this on. What's the first scene? It's so funny. And then suddenly their views will go through the roof. So I think that's a bit silly. I think for it to count as a view, I think you should have to watch 50% of a movie maybe, or 50% of an episode to count. Anything else you want to talk about on that landscape? We're coming close to running out of time here.
Do you see just in a couple of years that will basically go back to kind of, because you kind of see it happening, like with all the streaming services, you have to pay, so you have the premium version, so you don't have ads, will basically become, when a show comes out, it's coming out weekly, so we're kind of basically going to
free to air TV model,
yeah.
So we've gone from free to air TV being
Bad.
free, like it was always free, but you're paying by your eyeballs being exposed to ads. That you're the product that's being sold free to air TV. Where Netflix and that are kind of double dipping, where it's you're paying to watch their ads, and if you don't want to watch the ads, you can pay more money to remove the ads. So they double win.
Yeah.
Where free to air TV is, you can't opt out of the ads, but it's free. So like, will we start to see free to air TV offer a premium version where you can skip the ad? Like I know that won't happen, but that they've worked out and it's a clever model. Like if you had a business where you could subscribe, you could pay people to watch something for free. You could have someone to watch people for free, but then if you can then say, well, ads are going to, like for instance, this YouTube channel, if someone said, come along, we're going to pay you money to talk about, prime, energy drinks. And then, so we're getting paid by them to talk about it, but then we can say, hey, if you don't want to see these ads, guys, anymore, like we understand ads are annoying, just pay $5 a month and you won't see the ads anymore. We're double dipping. We're getting paid by Prime, and then we're also paying for you to not want to see those ads from Prime. So yeah, streaming services have definitely moved into that double dipping model, so that you think that you're going, oh cool, I'm gonna just get the cheap version. I'm gonna get the ads because I don't want to pay the premium, which is what I do. I do Netflix with ads, but I'm not really getting a good deal.
No,
I'm getting what I used to get before, but for work, I'm getting worse. I'm paying what I used to get before, paying the same price as before, but now I'm getting ads. So I don't know. They've like tricked us into thinking that the ad version is the cheap version. Because what will happen is you'll go to a friend's house and you'll watch something and an ad comes on. Oh, cheap ass! You got the cheap version. So then you get stuff. People make you feel bad for it. So forcing you to go, oh, I better get the premium version. It's like, you know how they have the different tiers, and it's like, oh, you can get 3 screens instead of 2,
Yeah.
and you can get 4K instead of 1080p. How many shows are on there in 4K? Probably not that many.
Yeah.
How often are you watching 3 screens? But people go, oh, just in case, I'll pay the extra $5 a month just in case. It's just money, money, money. So like, yeah, they've definitely got us there, and it's up to people to see through and see what they want. I'm going to go the ad version every day of the week, because if I get an ad halfway through the middle of a show, you know what I'll do? I'll walk up and get a glass of water. I'll go to the bathroom. Like it really doesn't bother me. To save money, I will happily do that. So,
if you would prefer to have a choice, would you prefer to have no ads, or to let us share streaming services again?
I wish we could go back to sharing, and I'm not necessarily like password sharing and being dodgy, but whether there was some kind of way that Netflix would allow it. So like, you bought this plan, and I know they probably do. You can have 4 logins, for instance, and that's just a nice thing they do. That would be cool, but they don't want that. They want each person to sign up, because every time you share it with someone, that's one less amount of money they get. You know, so it's like, you know, if we go to a buffet restaurant and it's $50 per person, but halfway through I walk out and you sneak in dressed as me, and then you go and eat as much as you want. Like, they don't want that, you know, like they're saying, well, that's per person, but you go, well, I'm allowed to eat as much as I want. So like, if I didn't swap with you, I would eat double the amount of food. They go, it doesn't matter. We need each person to pay, because it's not fair that you're sharing this thing. So I think I wouldn't mind if streaming services started offering a free version and you got heaps of ads. You know, like, especially for like a streaming service you're on the fence for, if Binge or whatever's like, yeah, you can, it's free, but you're going to get a lot of ads. Like, I'd be cool with that. Like, I'd put up with the ads if I could get access to it for free. Though the ads don't bother me. You just walk away, mute the TV, whatever. But some people, it annoys them, and they'll pay the premium price. So, yeah. Where do you sit on that? Would you watch ads? Do you think it's worth paying extra money to avoid an ad?
It's very interesting, because back in the day we didn't have to, but that's where things are heading, because streaming services are getting smarter. But depending on how good the show is, but it's kind of the same thing, because with YouTube, you pay extra for YouTube Premium, but I kind of don't see the point of that, because you just skip that.
Yeah. I guess we've grown up with ads too. Free-to-air TV was a thing for us, watching it getting ad. Also, you know, when iView and AB, it's still like Channel 10 and all those Freeview streaming services that attach to a free-to-air TV, they give you ads. You can't avoid the ads. If you want to watch, you know, Survivor on replay through the 10 Play app, you're going to get ad after ad. So I'm used to it, so I don't mind. I definitely don't see the value in paying extra money to skip an ad. I'll just sit through it.
Yeah. Well, as always, let us know your thoughts. Thank you for watching the live stream, and have a good rest of your day or night, and see you next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.